Stay tuned for What's Up Las Vegas with your host, Lynelle Baker.
Right here on LasVegasHotRadio.com.
What's up, Las Vegas Hot Radio? It's your girl, Lynelle, and I'm here with Lin Rountree.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Lin.
What's up, Las Vegas?
Lin is a soul and jazz trumpet player. He's a music producer and a composer. Lin has recorded 5 solo albums.
Actually, 6. It's my 6th project this year.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it 6? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm off. So,
no, that's all right.
Lin, I know you from back in the day before you had any albums. Tell us how all of this became about. I know you've always been an awesome musician. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are right now, because you're killing them.
It's a long process, and it certainly is a progression. Of course, I started out playing clubs around Detroit, playing at a place called Flood's Bar and Grill and the Key Club, getting myself immersed in the R&B scene because there weren't a whole lot of opportunities for a trumpet player to play R&B music. We were always either band trumpet section musicians or in some sort of big band or something like that. So all the soloist opportunities went to the saxophone players, and singers, and the guitarists. As far as I was concerned, that's why I decided to start my own band. Then I could do what I wanted to do. So I got a singer, geared myself towards R&B, and then started playing around town. Ended up getting a name for myself. The group was called Up Close. Everybody used to ask me, well, man, we love what you do. You made us feel good. Do you have a CD? And I said, well, no, I don't have a CD. And after everybody kept asking me, well, do you have a CD? You have a CD? I said, well, maybe I should make a CD because I can make a little bit of extra money after the gig. Went in the studio, made a CD. I met some great producers, the grace of God. I met 2 world premier producers, one named Billy Meadows, the other named Dana Davis. These guys had a track record of success. Yeah, I wasn't starstruck because I really didn't know who they were. I ended up just, hey, listen to my songs, and they said, yeah, we hear something in you. We know where you're going. How about we produce you? And so they produced me, and one thing led to another. They took all the songs that I already written, they redid them, and they produced them, and out came Groove Tree, my first CD. My man, Mr. Tim Bowman, who's also a Detroiter, graced my CD with my first single, For Your Love, and he happened to be one of the hottest guitarists out at that time. So that's when program directors started to open up my single because they said, who's Tim Bowman? Who is this Lin Rountree? They opened it up and they loved what they heard, and the rest is history. That started my career in recorded music, certainly in the smooth jazz, contemporary jazz realm. I really didn't know what I'd had. It was all pure. I wasn't going for any marketing. I wasn't going for any commercial. Writing what I thought sounded good, writing what I felt. And it was embraced around the country. That started me on this path.
Wonderful. What an awesome path it has been. You're doing music. You're traveling all over the world. I was looking at some of your stuff on YouTube, and you were all the way in Uganda?
Yes. Oh, that was a great trip. I cherish that memory forever. Just being able to go back to the motherland where it all began and play for people who were so appreciative of the music. I think it was the largest crowd I've ever played in my life. I was there with myself and Shaquem Joyner. The headliner was Maxie Priest.
Wow, that's big time.
He's like a god over there. He really loved his music. It was such a great, great experience. We were over there for about 6 days. Not only did we play the show, but we were over there just visiting the country, the good and the not so good parts of the country, so we can get an appreciation of things over there. It's all levels of people over there, rich people, beautiful people, and there's some poverty. For the most part, you could be somewhere in America with the technology and with cars and the different things. The misrepresentation sometimes that you see on TV of Africa is blatant when you get over there. And they speak English over in Uganda. That's their number 1 language. I mean, it's just a beautiful place and a beautiful experience, and I'll cherish it. And I definitely want to go back. Smooth jazz is about 20 years behind where we are right now in smooth jazz. They're just discovering it right now, and they're just getting some of us over there to start playing the music. We're starting to get these radio stations, smooth jazz radio stations starting to pop up. So I look forward to getting back over there.
And I'm sure they're looking forward to having you come back over there. You're doing quite well. You're topping the Billboard charts, and you just got a lot going on. You were in the top 50 for jazz albums. Just absolutely amazing. And then you ended up with a role in Sparkle with Jordan Sparks and CeeLo Green in a major motion picture. So that was pretty awesome. Tell us a little bit about that and how that came about.
Interestingly, again, you always remember this movie because it was Whitney Houston's last movie that she ever did. It came about being in the circle of musicians here in Detroit. There's a great musician named Kern Brantley who's music director for Lady Gaga and all over the place. And he was charged with being a music director because the directors for Sparkle wanted to make a movie. They were tired of seeing music movies, with actors who weren't musicians. They wanted more realism on stage in the scenes. So they said, we're going to cast real musicians because they know how to hold the instruments, they know how to play, they know how to dance while they have the instruments, and it looks real. That's what we want to get. And so there was a tryout, and we all tried out. We had to, play a song and dance at the same time. I learned all of that from University of Florida A&M marching band. That's all we did was perform, dance, and play. We held the high standards of playing.
That's college marching band, too.
Exactly. That experience came in very handy. It's a balance, playing musical, but also performing and smiling and having good optics for everybody. So that's what they said, and that's how I was chosen. Started out just being some extras, but we gravitated towards actual parts. I guess in the movie business, you're either an extra or you're considered an actor. You have a role, and to put you at another level. And when we first started filming, we weren't allowed to say anything to any of the leads proactively. They could say something to us, but we weren't allowed to say anything. But by the time they finished watching us dance and coming up with these dance steps and killing it on stage with the optics, they said, look, you guys, we're going to put you at a different level. You can eat with the headliners,
awesome.
With the stars, and you can talk. You're at a different scale than everybody else. So that was just the greatest feeling, just to be up there and see how a movie is made.
Yeah, you really are now.
Yeah, now I don't consider myself that because I consider myself just Lin with a trumpet. I'm always keep that attitude because it keeps me humble and it keeps me grateful for where I am. I don't want to ever get too complacent.
And you've always been humble, but you're big time now. You really are.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. You can say that. I appreciate it. I'll receive it.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we listen to This Time Around by Lin Rountree? And we'll be right back after this.
Right here on LasVegasHotRadio.com.
From the east side to the west side and throughout the world, this is a Detroit original.
Right here on LasVegasHotRadio.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to What's Up Las Vegas with your host, Lynelle Baker. You're listening to This Time Around by Lin Rountree. Native of Detroit, Michigan, a truly amazing jazz artist. His songs have been topping the charts. Lin, where do you want to go from here? You have dabbled in production, being in a movie. What would you like to accomplish next?
I still have a long way to go in the business and the genre and even expanding in the genre because my roots are in R&B, rhythm blues music, and I love working with vocalists. You'll see throughout all of my projects, I've got vocal tunes on all my projects. In fact, my third album, SoulFunky, the Soul Jazz Experience, was half and half. I had 6 instrumental tunes, 6 vocal tunes. I've always kept that as a part of what I do. And so I envision myself working more with more R&B artists, kind of bringing back that neo-soul. I don't think we maximized or got enough out of the neo-soul era. It kind of came and kind of dissipated sooner than I thought it should have. So I'm going to kind of revive that as well. Because there's a lot of great soul, neo-soul artists that just never got their just due. And now with the platform that I have in smooth jazz, it's a perfect combination. That's where I want to go. Also, I want to just continue to grow, expand the music. We're going through an interesting time now. Some people are upset about the lack of outlets for smooth jazz. Some of the stations started to disappear, but I'm so grateful for outfits like yours, organizations like yours that continue to push and expose us to your listeners and your listening audience and give us the platform to share our music, because we're making the music, but, that's not enough. Somebody's got to be able to hear it so that they can appreciate it. And that's why conduits like yours are so important.
We
to your
appreciate
question,
that.
and I appreciate you, so it's mutual. So, I just want to continue to grow the music. I want to get it to a point where it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the premier music, you go into the terrestrial markets and smooth jazz was number 2, 3, even 1 in arbitrary ratings in some markets. So it was a very, very powerful entity, and the people haven't gone anywhere. I think the industry didn't understand how to evolve, per se, but I think it's wide open now. So I see where challenge is, or some people see challenges, I see opportunity.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, there's nothing I'd rather listen to on a warm summer day out on the boat or something than some smooth jazz. When you're really trying to relax and get into your groove. There's nothing like it. It's an amazing genre of music. Are there any artists that you aspire to work with that you haven't had a chance to work with yet?
Yeah, so many artists. I started to say earlier, working with the R&B artists like people like Lettucey, people like some of the new people that LMI and her, people like that. I want to somehow be able to fuse and infuse our music into that type of music, things that they're doing and ways that they're presenting their music. That whole type of vibe is where I want to go. Jill Scott is somebody I love, want to work with. Erykah Badu is somebody I love, want to work with. We're all cut from the same cloth, came up at the same time frame. I was starting my band and Jill was hot, so I did all of Jill's songs. I was the cover band that did the Jason Lin Rountree, Jill Scott band, or the Erykah Badu band, because he's doing the neo. So that's my heart. Also, where my heart always has been. So everybody else is doing 80s music, but Lin is doing that, and I want to solidify that by actually working with some of these people.
I can see that coming. I can see that on the horizon, and I think you can definitely make that possible. You definitely have the connections to do that. And what do you have on the horizon, or is it a secret, or is there something that you can fill our listeners in on?
Well, I mean,
you're working on some things.
With social media, there's not many secrets that we have. I think the great thing about social media is you can share your journey with people. If people can see you in your journey and see you acting silly, hear about some of your ups, some of your challenges, it makes the music that you play, that they listen to, that you make, mean that much more. I enjoy that. So as far as anything on the horizon, a lot of stuff. I'm working on a lot of different people. Actually, there is something on the horizon. I'm not going to say it yet, but I'm working with a great vocalist. She's very, very popular in the smooth jazz around, new vocalist. I got a chance to work with her. I got a chance to finally go on different shows. I've been on this show. She was on that show. I was on this show. She was on that show. We finally linked up at 2 shows last year.
Okay.
But we're working. So you put that together. We're working on something that's hot and that's fire. I think it's going to be greatly, greatly received. That's on the next project. I'm working on an R&B project as well for my label, Trippin' and Rhythm Records. That's going to be an EP of sorts with the support of some artists like Kanye Doss, my little sister Jessica Jolia, who's a great vocalist that I'm working with now. I have a couple bands. I've got a band that's R&B fused. Work with her. Also, a great friend of mine named Beth. She's an awesome vocalist. I took her to Dubai just a year and a half ago, to Dubai Jazz Fest, and she rocked it out with me. So, it's on the horizon, and I'm working with some great artists. Skinny Hightower and I have a few songs that we're cranking out together. I recorded in the past with Julian Vaughn, and he and I are doing some things together. So there's a lot of collabs on the horizon.
Wow. We can't wait to hear them. But right now, we're going to listen to Pass the Groove with Lin Rountree. And we'll be right back after this.
Right here on LasVegasHotRadio.com.
Las Vegas Hot Radio for the mature audience. Playing music from all your favorites, like Charlie Wilson,
Ask me how I'm doing, I'm blessed. Living every moment, no regret.
Ella May, Bruno Mars, and Drake. This is real R&B. Las Vegas Hot Radio, the heart and soul of Las Vegas music.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Pass the Groove with Lin Rountree. Once again, you're listening to What's Up Las Vegas with your host, Lynelle Baker, and we are interviewing the fabulous Lin Rountree.
What's up, Las Vegas? Thank you so much.
So, Lin, how do people follow you? I know you've got your social media presence. Tell our listeners how they can follow your music, how they can be on your fan page,
Sure.
And keep up with what's going on with you.
They can get to everything Lin Rountree by just simply going to www.linrountreemusic.com. Lin, L-I-N, Rountree with no D, R-O-U-N-T-R-E-E, music.com. And from there, they connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They can sign up for my newsletter, which I send out quarterly, or if there's something special, I'll send a special newsletter out. Also, you can, go back and get one of them. I've got 6 albums to date. You can, there's links to download all of the albums or get hard copies. You can pull pictures off for those promoters that are bringing me into their venues. So it's a one-stop shop at linrountreemusic.com.
That's awesome. So are you going out on tour soon? Will you be coming to visit us here in Las Vegas anytime?
I certainly hope so. Last time I was there was a couple of years ago at the Aliante Casino. I did one of those, I think, Smooth Summer Nights or whatever they call them at the Aliante. It was one of some beautiful places. It's actually the last two Memorial Days ago, because I did that, and I had to go cross country to do the Jacksonville Jazz Fest, but I had a great time. So yeah, I'd love to be back. We're in the early stages, and I think what's going on is a lot of the festivals, a lot of the promoters are pulling their lists together for their artists and their lineups, putting their lineups together. So it's about this time where I start to get a lot of the inquiries. I've already about 12 dates already set. I'm going to be out west a few times, Sacramento in March, be back in Sacramento in September, or Stockton, California, September, San Diego, Memorial Day weekend. As close to Vegas as I'll be. We're getting some inquiries out of Denver. We're getting some good stuff on the East Coast, up and down the East Coast. So it's coming around, and it looks like it's going to be another good year. This time last year I didn't have as much already on the books, but I ended up with 30-something dates by the end of summer. So it's looking good.
Awesome. That is totally awesome. So
and again, they can, I'm sorry, I'm just cut you off. You can always go to linrountreemusic.com, as I said earlier, and check out my schedule. It's always changing. So it's evergreen, but, and my schedule page will show you exactly where I am, and you click on it, give you all the details of where I am and what I'll be doing.
Amazing. So ladies and gentlemen, let's take a listen to Something More by Lin Rountree, and we'll be right back after this.
Right here on LasVegasHotRadio.com.
This is how grown folk music is supposed to sound. Real good. This is real R&B. Las Vegas Hot Radio, the heart and soul of Las Vegas music.
listening to Something More with Lin Rountree. We're still interviewing Mr. Lin Rountree here on What's Up Las Vegas, on LasVegasHotRadio.com. And Lin, tell me, what is your favorite song of all of your songs and that you feel are the closest to your heart? Because every artist has certain pieces that are near and dear to their heart.
You talking about a new CD or just out of all my projects?
Out of your project, or you can tell us off of your new CD, or you may have one off of a couple CDs.
The first song that I ever wrote in my life, a song called Every Day, and I recorded that on my first CD, and I re-recorded a live version featuring Mike Phillips on my fifth project. It's Every Day, and it's a simple lines to it, very memorable melody line, but I play it at every single show. You will never see a show of Lin Rountree unless I'm doing one song on a TV show or something. You'll never see a full show of Lin Rountree and me not do that song, because I always play it because it reminds me from whence I came. And, about 6 CDs in, that's a little over, close to 70 songs that I've written. I've produced another 30, written and produced another 30 for different people. I recorded with about 51 different artists on their albums. So I've done a lot of recording, very prolific in the last 10, 15 years. But I'll say Every Day is my baby. It's the closest to my sound and what I want everything to sound. Now, I've got a lot of different sounds, but that groove, that feel of that song is something that speaks Lin Rountree. That's who Lin Rountree is.
Wow.
I've been blessed to work with a lot of great producers too. Nicholas Cole, I've become a producer. I've done some stuff with him. Nate Harris, did some stuff with him on my fourth album. Dana Davis, who worked with me for my helping me produce my first 3 albums, and Brandon Williams, and of course Michael Broning, who helped produce, and he actually wrote "Pass the Groove," my first number one single. So yeah, I've been blessed to work with a lot of great producers as well.
All right. So what would you like to say to aspiring jazz artists? Because earlier in the conversation, you mentioned that the industry is not what it used to be maybe 10 years ago. I don't feel that it's something that will ever die, but it's not getting the full recognition that it deserves. So that may be discouraging to some artists. So what would you have to say?
Certainly, you come to a lot of these jazz festivals, you see all these, Cancun's and this jazz festival, and there's thousands and thousands of people, and you're like, wow, there's people, but then, it's just something that doesn't add up, because, you're not getting to seeing them on award shows, and they're not, rolling in dough. It's a handful of people. It's like the haves and have-nots, a handful of people that are doing real well, and then everyone's kind of struggling. And to that, I say you have to
jazz should have its own award show.
Well, yeah. I think they've tried a couple times, but yeah. But to that, I say you have to keep pushing. You have to keep going. I've seen a lot of artists, and this is the number one thing that artists, when they get discouraged, and life hits you, family hits you, finances hit you, the reality, you kind of make your own reality, but what you're living in right now is, like I said, perception is our reality. The perception of where you are right now becomes your reality. And if where you are right now is upset, miserable, you're not getting the gigs, you're not getting the presence on radio, then that's your reality, and that becomes what makes you give up. Well, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I should go do this or go do that, or I've got some financial issues. I've dumped all this money into my career, and I've got nothing to show for it. And this person's getting shows, that person. That happens to everybody. It's indiscriminate, and it's no one's against you, or you take it very, very personally, because music is personal. When you sit there and write your music, it's so personal, it's so emotional. You put so much of your heart and soul into your music, and for it not to be recognized or appreciated, or it not to be doing what you see other people doing, it can be very discouraging. And that same intensity that you use doing the music can be that same weighted depression that you go through with the lack of success or the rejection. So my number one thing is to keep going. Somebody told me back in the day, they said, look, you know what, control the things you can control and let everybody else worry about everything else. And the one thing that you can control is the music that you write and the instrument that you play. Continue to get better on your instrument. Continue to write songs. Continue to record by any means necessary. I don't care if you have the finances or don't have the finances. Figure out a way. Make your music. Get it out there. Keep making CDs. That's why my 6th CD is called Stronger Still. It epitomizes my journey through the music, and why I've been able to stick it out so long through the trials and tribulations. I mean, you have all kinds of issues. Life just comes at you. People are here. People are gone. People pass away. And, a lot of different things happen in life that are inevitable. But, you got to just keep going. If that's your passion, if that's what you do, I was told somebody is listening to you. You're making music. You think nobody's listening to you. There's somebody listening to you. And, when I go to shows and I see kids showing up saying, hey, Lynn, I just wanted to meet you, man. I've been listening to your music. Or, somebody saying, hey, you helped me through a bad time. Or, it's just, it just gives you that fuel, and it gives you that what do you call it, validation that you're doing something right. Somebody's listening to you. If it's one person, that's why I take my shows. If one person shows up, if 3,000 people show up, I'm happy to play for whoever is going to sit there and watch me play a trumpet, because I'm certainly blessed, and I'm going to share that blessing.
Yeah, you're definitely blessed, and you are a blessing, and your music is truly amazing, and you've never had a show where one person showed up.
I've had a show where 3 or 4 people showed up, but, it's just some weather issues and some other things with some promoters, but those 4 people got a great show.
I bet they did.
And I'm serious.
They were loving that. They were like, this is great. I'm so glad other people could make it. They probably took pictures. And
I did a show that
personal and everything.
I did a show. I'm not going to name where it was last year. I don't want to set the promoter out, but it wasn't that well promoted. And this promoter's also, there's some dirty stuff going on, because in the same city somebody decided to throw another smooth jazz show on the same day, same night, and they pulled the crown by some scurvy means. And so this show ended up being, there were literally probably about, I'd say, 20 people, and the place held 600 people. And so when you look out in the audience, it looked like nobody there. And we had this stage and this big production, and sound guy and the speakers and the whole band, and everybody's there, and you just look out and it looks like 2 people, and so that's kind of discouraging. But you remember that these people, one of these people could be your angel, your angel that's watching over you, or one of these people could need you, could have cancer, or could have something that they just decided to come out and be entertained. So instead of going out there being miserable and giving a half show, I did more. I stayed longer. I went out in the audience and I played personally to every last person out there, because you could. It was that many people. But I went out and played to every single person. And I just took that opportunity to hey, look, I'm going to play. I don't know who these people are, but they came to hear me. I'm going to play.
And
so that's the attitude you take about life.
They probably said that was an amazing show, and word of mouth is extremely powerful. And I'm certain that has happened to the best of them, some of the best artists. I mean, things like that do happen, unfortunately, often.
Yeah, you can't control it.
And, there are.
And like you said, some of those people actually showed up in Los Cabos when I did the Los Cabos Jazz Fest, where there were plenty of people. It was a great, huge festival. And some of those people said, "Well, we came down because, we bought tickets. We came down because we saw you."
Awesome.
And they were out there on the sand, and I recognized them. I said, "Wow, you guys came over there." Yeah. I said, "Well,
that has to make you feel good."
It does, and it keeps you going. Okay, it's validation. It says that, I don't care who comes out, I'm doing something. Somebody wants to hear me. Somebody enjoys my music. I make somebody feel good with my music. So I'm gonna keep going and keep pushing forward, because I'm not gonna worry about it. Everything else will fall into place. You know what I'm saying? It gets discouraging, but you keep pushing forward. Everything else will fall into place.
Absolutely, and you're stronger still.
Exactly.
Yes, and we're gonna keep pushing your music, and we're going to keep playing your music right here on LasVegasHotRadio.com. Lynn, it was truly amazing talking to you, and we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Our listeners are really going to enjoy listening to you in rotation. And
pleasure's all mine.
Thank you so much. And any closing remarks for our listeners?
I'd just like to say thank you for continuing to listen to radio as a whole, continuing to listen to Las Vegas Hot Radio, great programming that they bring, great people that they get on to interview and speak with you, and just continue to support the music. And when I come out there, anywhere close to you guys, just come on out and say, hey, look, I heard you on Las Vegas Hot Radio. I'm following your music, and I just wanted to come out and say hello, and that would make me feel really good. So I just thank you guys for your love and support, and look forward to seeing each and every one of you real soon.
Lin Rountree, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And we'll be back next week, same place, same time, on LasVegasHotRadio.com.
More Las Vegas artists on Las Vegas Hot Radio, the heart and soul of Las Vegas music.